of you two. We've seen in the paper here recently that the county council is looking at giving pay raises and possibly bonuses to employees. How do you propose we pay for those increases? Yes, sir, Mr. Curwood.
Well, you know, it's all right to get a pay increase and be good to the employees, but in York County you have 113,000 workers total. You got 33,000 that don't draw a paycheck. They're drawing unemployment. You got 18,000 that's drawn out, that can't draw a dime. You want me, you got a job, you want me to tax those people that's losing their houses, that's losing their homes, that can't feed their families, that went down to the welfare department and signed up, that used to make $30,000 and $40,000 a year. I got to tax those. Where is that golden rule? I don't have anything to do with what people do. We broke ourselves by hurrying home from work to get ready to go somewhere else, and that's your business. I have nothing to do with that. But I stayed home and put the money in a fruit jar. And I taught my kids to do the same thing. And I'm not bragging, I'm not criticizing, but we all can tighten our belt and do a little more on a little less. And what I see in America today, we better be practicing up for just that, ladies and gentlemen. So what you see now, that every department that broke $15.5 trillion in the United States, $1.5 trillion added a year. Look at what the state is having to do. Look at the billions they're having to cut down there because they did too much in the first place. We've got to get some common sense if we're going to keep America together. And we don't have to ask for a raise. And so if you're talking about that little bit of $400 the one I got, I told my council over and over, they can keep it. I don't need it. God has looked out for me with my muscles and my mind, and I've made it. So let's take care of some of those people that don't have anything. That's my philosophy in life. And I help many a one every week that I don't want to brag about. But I'm 18,000 in the hole right now since the first of the year, saving people's home. Thank you and have a good night.
Mr. White.
Could you repeat the question?
How do we pay for the potential increase that we're going to give in bonus to the county employees? How do you assume we
So
pay
is
for
the
that?
question, how do we pay for it or do we pay for it?
Yeah. How are we going to pay for it if it's passed?
Well, I didn't hear Mr. Chapman, and are you?
Well, we're going to come back and follow
Okay,
up.
thank
Go
you,
ahead.
because I didn't hear the answer. As I've stated already, I'm for raises. The plans that have been put out, you know, our county employees have not received a raise for 3 years. Most people in the county went through years where they didn't get raises. Most people that I've talked to, they haven't gotten a raise every year. But after 4 years, most people that I've talked to have at least gotten a raise one of those years. You know, the problem, I think it's a failure to understand just macroeconomics. If you've got a deputy in our county, and usually a cost of living raise is in the 3 to 4% range, and you go 4 years and you don't give that deputy a raise, then what that means is 4 years from now, he's about 16 plus the growth in that. He's about 18 to 20% upside down, and if you got a county beside you that is giving raise, where do you think people are going to go work? I mean, they're going to, if the job opens up, that's where they're going to go work. The other thing is, it's not about raising taxes. I heard in that answer that we had to raise taxes on people that didn't have a job. The plans that I've read about that the county is looking at this year, there's up to a 5% increase that the county can do and not even have to raise millage. You know, we just talked about $23 million that's mine and your money sitting in a bank account somewhere. You know, if it ain't a rainy day after you've had 4 years of not a raise, I don't know how much it has to rain to be a rainy day.
So you for Mr. White? Yes or no?
Yeah.
You for it, Mr. Curwood? Are you for the increase?
So let me make one comment. The thing about the raises is it all gets back. If you've got a government and every year you've got increases in inflation for all of the fringe benefits that you have to pay for your employees plus a 3% raise, you're going to have anywhere from a 5% increase just in your county employees alone. And whether it's a school district, whether it's the county, most of your expenses are in the people cost that you pay people with. So you've got to grow your tax base. It's not about raising taxes. If we were doing a better job at economic development and bringing businesses here, which are going to Lancaster County, which are going to Mecklenburg County, then we wouldn't have to worry about it because our growth in tax base would pay for the raises.
Mr. Curwood, you get 90 seconds if you'd like to respond. Mr. Curwood, first, are you for the increase? Are you for the increase?
I have to, you know, I would like to have the coming in increase before I have the going out increase. And I don't think, and I'm no authority on the subject, but you didn't see the last one in the 30s. I was here. I saw thousands walking the road, going to Florida to escape the cold. I saw thousands on top of every southbound freight train. And I saw them begging for a piece of bread. I saw out, not long ago out in Wisconsin, the teachers striking and raising sand for pay increase. Folks, I'm no authority on any subject, but I'm opinionated on most. We Americans have a lot to learn. Every bank in Europe is failing. Every economy almost, but Germany and maybe another 2 or 3 countries is failing. American banks are falling on their face. You just saw what happened over the weekend. And that previews the coming attraction. So you can't spend what you ain't got buying stuff you don't need and survive. We've been spoiled, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to scratch in the manure and pick with the chickens before this thing is over with. China has you by both ends, the feet and the hair. They just told Obama, don't you print another dollar. For every time we spend a dollar, send a $1, China pays us $1, we pay them 25. It's out of balance, and it's going to break us, and we're going to suffer from it. Tighten your belts if you want any advice from me.